Hello and welcome. This is KL Johnson speaking to you from Humble Wichita, Kansas. This is a movement game that I wanted to post for my movement class, even though I don't have students right now. I am thinking ahead. I wanted to call it Buckyball, but since this is spherical and not a multihedral, and these aren't slits, I guess I'll just call it near home and far from home. Basically, it involves geography in the map. And the way it works is that you're either going to be orange, you see the orange handle, or you're going to be blue. And you've got the ball, you got to keep it up into the air. And you've got these little notebooks where you're going to record your information, your data. Basically what we're trying to do is like the orange on here represents problems that are near to us, which would be even a personal problem, like, you know, maybe you notice some bullying going on in the school. So when it comes your turn, you'll find out how this works in just a second. And it was your turn to get the ball, and you dropped it, and the person with the orange handle, they get to call that you have to come up with what problem do you see near to home. And near to home, we would have a pin over here depicting that we are here. Wichita, Kansas, United States of America. Near to home, they might say bullying, so they would write down on here bullying, and then they're going to, oh no, please don't follow me. Right, bully. I'm just going to write bullying for short. They've got pens and markers, and they've got these notebooks, and then over here, they've got a pad where they're gonna share this pad, and they're gonna gather around it, and they're gonna research bullying and what kinds of ways we can solve the problem of bullying. So, like as an example, I'll give you, and then later on, the reason I wanted, I guess I could call it Quidditch, but you have other people on your team that are gonna come in later, and they try to knock the ball. Because life is hard, and it's hard to solve world problems because there's all kinds of things coming in, you know, keeping you from solving those problems and keeping the ball up in the air. Well, anyway, you're going to have assigned people come in, and they're going to be coming in trying to, you know, throw these and knock the ball so that it gets thrown. And then whoever drops the ball, the handle that has it say it was the blue tells the orange team, you need to find a place in this world. You can use this globe, throw it up, put your thumb wherever it lands, and look at that. And you can Google, I land on Syria. Let's say I land on Syria. I can come on here and I can Google Syrian refugee crisis. I'm a child going through this. 6 ways you can help Syrian refugees. You can look through here. Oh my gosh, please don't do this to me. Students can look through here. They can read. They can look for ways that they could actually help. This will make a difference. They can, basically right now they're not taking action yet. They're planning. And that would go under, over here, World Syrian Refugees. And we're keeping track of that. We're keeping track of it in here. I know I didn't have orange, but blue and green is supposed to be orange. And basically the way it goes is, probably not to do this solo, but you're trying to get with your partner, and you're trying to bat this ball back and forth. Can you see it from there? And you're trying to keep it from hitting the ground. Bat it back and forth between each other. Keep it up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. And then when it falls, let's say that blue made it, or orange made it, didn't grab it that time. Then they're going to come over here, and they're going to grab the globe. They're going to say, okay, I landed in North America, okay? But I didn't land near to home. I landed clear over here in California. I might start Googling some of the things that are going on in California that I didn't really know about. Like, you know, maybe I didn't know there was a lot of flooding going on. Maybe I didn't know about the dam that was causing hundreds of thousands of people to have to evacuate. And basically the purpose of this is to get people to thinking about how there are problems close to home, and those are very important. You know, bullying, exclusion, all kinds of different problems that we have to face. And there are problems far away from home. All over the world there are problems. And some of the problems that the students are going to discover, not only are they bigger than the problems that they're having, but they're almost microcosmic of the problems that they're having. Like, you know, I won't name the country, but there are certain countries where there are leaders in dictatorial positions who are really acting as bullies, and they don't just beat you up. I mean, I'm not going to go any further in the details, but the students are learning that there are problems in the world in preparation for what can we do, instead of focusing on the negativity of, oh, I'm just always picked on in school and nobody likes my ideas, and I guess I'll just go sit over here and ho-hum for a while. Instead, we can teach students to branch out through a physical activity. This entire activity, even when you're not batting the ball around or throwing the little, enemy Quidditch thingy, what do you call them? Anyway, when you're not doing that, you're moving. You're moving over to the computer. You're moving over to take notes. You're moving over to keep track over here. You know, how many problems have we found in the world? How many problems can we compare and contrast? Are there similarities between the problems that we have close to home and problems that we find far away from home? And then we move into, what could we possibly do to look outside of our own problems and see what we could do to help someone else who's going through their problem. Maybe we can't solve the problem, but getting out of the self is essential to not falling into the negativity of, oh, woe is me, I didn't get picked again. Research it. Research other people that didn't get picked. Research, nationwide. I mean, are there, I don't know, there's places in the world no one's ever heard of. I mean, failure to acknowledge is a lot like exclusion, wouldn't you say? Maybe we should get to know those nations. Maybe that's one way that we can get to know them. Problems from around the world. This is related to geography. I don't link it with history with the little guys. I try to keep it as concrete as I can. This can be adapted from grades. I would not try this with KG, but I can get this to work with first graders, and you can adapt this clear up to 12th grade, and it's an interesting way to frame problems so that maybe later on we can go back in teams and kind of jigsaw some of these problems and put our energy into the positive efforts of coming up with ways to help. Maybe not solve the problem. I mean, how are we going to solve somebody else's civil war? But what could we do for the people that are in there? Could we do anything at all? Could we contribute to a foundation that's sending food out there? Anything, Or what can we do instead of moping and complaining about all these people that just keep picking on poor me? Maybe we can start learning. Did you know that there's stuff online that my students have discovered on their own when given a tablet that shows them things that they can do while they're in the middle of being bullied? And I'm talking about simple things like the way you stand and your nonverbal, just simple things that they can do, that they have come to me and said, did you know I tried this thing online and it worked? And the bully didn't say anything. They just backed away and went away. We can solve problems in positive ways if we put our heads together. And I think if we get moving. Where'd my ball go? You gotta get moving. The brain, I don't think it can function until we get it moving. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Right, 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 right. It's Kale Johnson speaking to you from humble Wichita, Kansas. Thank you.